Welcome back, Enemies of the Fire. We are here to talk about all of the interesting things in MLS. And James, what did we find interesting? I mean, we have to talk about the one interesting guy first all the time, right?
Well,
This is DPG's favorite segment.
And his name is Leo Messi, and he's the league leader in goals and assists. He actually shares that goals leading with Luis Suarez, his teammate. They both have 10 goals. Meanwhile, Leo Messi has 12 assists. The next closest is Christian Arango of RSL with 7 assists. And Christian Arango also has 9 goals. So he's having a heck of a season too.
Yeah, he's having a killer season as well. But you didn't expect this from, people like DPG didn't expect this from Messi. This is the kind of thing since I've been a fan since the beginning of the DP rule. This is what I always wanted. Someone to come here and be like, I win everywhere I go. So now I go to America, not just to grow the game. No, I go to America and I win.
Absolutely.
Like, that's what I've wanted to see since the DP rule. And Messi is somehow, despite the hype being so ridiculously too big, is like living up to it. And that's what's the shocking part. He didn't just break his leg 2 days in and has been a flop. Like, it's shocking that he's killing it. DPG is fuming. I can see it. He's turning red.
Oh, man, it's getting boring, bro.
How?
He had 5 assists. He had a goal and 5 assists in a game. How is that boring? If this was Brian Gutierrez, what would your energy be then?
Well, let's see. It's a homegrown player, Chicago native, that is trying to make a mark for himself. So, I would be excited.
If he was putting up Messi numbers, yeah, we'd be
I'd be excited too.
What if this was KDB?
There is no other Messi.
Kevin De Bruyne in like 3 years. What if this was KDB? How would you feel?
What if this Marco Reus?
Would you be more excited? Stop it.
No, don't start that. Don't start that.
No, would you be like more? Are you just like, I don't want Messi to make MLS look bad, or what's the deal?
Yeah. I think it's more or less just, I think MLS had a good thing going before Messi showed up. I think the quality of the league wasn't.
You think he's harmed the image of the league?
Well, no, it just makes us look like we're still a retirement league. We were kind of getting away from it. We were kind of getting away from that.
We are away from that, though.
No, we're not. You got Luis Suarez. You got a bunch of
in the same
old
league with Cucho Hernandez, though.
But
and Thiago Almada.
The thing about it is that it's so the situation itself. It's twofold. You want guys like Thiago Almada and Cucho Hernandez to actually tear up the league, but at the same time, you have these guys like Leo Messi and so on company that are much older. They're pretty much retirement age that are tearing up the league. It's not a good look because, we're still...
because we're so desperate for validation. Did anybody call France a retirement league when Messi went and tore that up?
No, I think, but Messi was still like in his early 30s.
Okay, hold on,
and he's playing with Mbappe and Neymar.
Zlatan left LA to play at AC Milan for like 2 or 3 years. Like, was he in retirement mode? Like, nobody said AC Milan was a retirement team. Like, no, it's just we finally are not a retirement league. We finally have a mix. And right now, we just happen to have the best player on the planet nearing the end of his career in this country. And thankfully, in my opinion, they're cheating all hell of the fucking roster rules because all those rules need to be thrown out anyway. So I'm all for that.
Zlatan's a great point.
That's another thing, too.
Didn't retire after he went from LA Galaxy. He went on to still do stuff. He didn't retire, so that does dispel more of the retirement league.
But that's another thing too is what Toko's saying right now is man, I forgot what you were mentioning.
No, I was just saying that like I like how they're breaking all the rules. Now I don't have any proof of that.
That's another thing too is how much. That's what I was trying to get at. How much rule bending is the league giving Miami to bring Messi, to bring Luis Suarez, to bring all these guys?
They're talking about signing DiMaria here in the summer.
Yeah, so
that'd be awesome.
That would be awesome. You're right.
Think about that. You think about that. That's a lot. That's How much of the rules is the MLS spending for Miami?
Who cares?
Well, I mean, they slapped them. They
It's
slapped
because
their.
you know what it is that you guys are thinking of this more short sighted. Like,
For
oh yeah,
sure.
this is oh
The
my god,
league
this
is
is Messi.
established. There's no reason to care. Like they need to get rid of the rules. The only thing holding MLS back, the only thing is salary cap. If you got rid of salary cap and you let everybody work independently, you would see MLS would be one of the big five because players want to live in America. Like, and not to say America's the best place on the planet. I'm just saying there are people who want to live here. The markets are big enough.
There needs to be a different kind of salary cap.
Well, or that, which is what we'll get.
I think my thing is this: is that so much attention has been put on Messi and company that it kind of overshadows everything that MLS has done the past couple of years in terms of improving itself, improving its image, attracting younger talent. And I get it. This is Messi. This is like equivalent of having Maradona and his towards his end of his prime show up. But
everybody wants to go see Maradona, and everybody wants to go see Messi.
I'm going to agree with DPG in the sense of this. Ever since Toronto started to be good, back in like 2015-16 era there, we have had some of the most entertaining soccer and really fun playoffs and great games and good rivalries. Like the league was so fun to watch other than 2020 since then. Like it's been on such a different level since then. And yes, Messi and friends are overshadowing that currently, but I think they're giving MLS something that's never had, which is like well, I guess I take that back. New England and LAFC had some good point totals, but a truly just dominant team.
We've never seen a team like Inter Miami.
Yeah, it's such a different thing, man. And you're right. MLS did have a lot of momentum because there was a lot of fun players and a lot of fun stuff happening. But
and I think more or less this is almost becoming like a freebie to Messi. Like you're gonna let this guy with his friends and everybody just win the MLS Cup just because it's Messi? I mean, 'cause that's what's happening now.
But they still gotta win the games, dude. Like how many times
they still gotta win the games. But when you take
you still gotta score the goals.
When you beat a team like New York Red Bulls, which is not a bad team, 6-1, and on top of that, you're thinking of adding another player, which you guys said DiMaria. It's like so great. Now you're making this. I think it's beyond a super team. This is like an elite team. This is like.
Well, I mean, think back to those DC teams back when they didn't pay players well anywhere.
Yeah.
So like that first DC team in MLS is loaded. You know what I mean? Echeverry and all the other people whose names I can't think of course, to make my point. But like they were loaded back then. Like the MLS has had different eras of super teams, but I don't know, man. I like it. I'm excited to see because we're living in an age where these players like are caring about their physical health to where you're not just done at 31.
Usually, yeah.
And these are some of the best to ever do it. Like how many times do people retire at the top like a Barry Sanders? You know what I mean?
Very rarely.
And so rarely, but you still see it. So it's just these guys could have retired in a top 5 league, and they're not. They're here winning another title because winning is rad. Chicks dig titles, man. So
and goals.
I brought up DiMaria. I want to ask, and I hope DPG is a father. Everyone, that's why we're losing him here and there. But I want to get your opinion on some rumors about Marco Reus coming to MLS.
Where would he go? And why would he come to Chicago over Chucky Lozano?
Well, Chucky Lozano, Chicago can't convince nobody. They can't convince nobody in nothing. But here's the thing.
They couldn't convince. So how would they convince Royce?
I don't know. They just, because I'll answer that in a second. I'll just say this. The two teams, you asked a question, and St. Louis and Chicago are the two that everybody brings up. St. Louis is weak in the midfield, and they got the whole German vibe going. And Chicago, because it seems like the most Chicago thing ever, because he's going to be, like, I swear to God, Marco Reus is a terrible MLS signing. He's gonna play 7 games over the course of 2 seasons. He'll sign a 2-year.
You said he's injury prone.
He's totally injury prone. He's gonna play 7 games over the course of 2 seasons and just be a financial drain on whoever signs him. I don't want him in Chicago
As a DP.
I got fingers crossed that he goes to St. Louis, man. And you know what? I don't even care. He's too risky for me to be excited about. Even if he shows up, he pulls a Messi in his natural Marco Royce self and never gets hurt, I'm still happy on passing.
I mean, it's slim pickings though for who can you get to lure to Chicago, and in the process get rid of Shaqiri, because guess what? Shaqiri is still here for this entire season.
Oh yeah, he's here till the end, and that's probably why we won't see a DP this summer
unless he gets sold in the summer transfer window.
Who's gonna buy him other than Lugano? Everybody's just gonna wait for his contract to run out. Is there a team on the planet that needs Shaqiri to like make a push?
Chicago was the team that needed him.
He was the hero that we deserved, apparently.
He was our hero. He was Georg Heitz's hero. He looked at his phone. He's like, "I could be your hero, baby."
So wait, do you want Marco Royce on this team?
I would take Marco Royce on this team. It'd be an upgrade, but not if you have other things available. Like, where is this Cucho Hernandez for Chicago? Where is the successful players for Chicago that are looking to not just go and bounce and be sold for something, but to help them win a championship, like Cucho Hernandez?
I don't know. You got to be good at scouting to find them, and apparently we're not, because we scouted Gaston Jimenez.
And well, it's not just scouting Gaston Jimenez; it's retaining his services when you didn't have to.
No, I mean, I guess he's just a nice guy. He batted his eyes, and Gehrig just melted in his seat.
Do you want Royce?
I don't want to. He's too injury prone. I just feel like, I feel like if he signs anywhere else, he'll have a good career. If he signs at Chicago, he'll play 7 games over 2 seasons. That's literally how it feels. And I can't with it. I can't with that. That'll hurt me too much. But anyway, man, this is gonna make me sad if DPG doesn't join us back for this one, because talking about being hurt, Aaron Boupendza, broken jaw at a pizzeria late at night, given to him by a local boxer.
Right.
So it makes you wonder what was going on and what is going on with Boupendza, because he's going to be out 6 to 8 weeks. He already had the big scandal with the sex tape. He's already been suspended from the team for missing practice. He's already been not kicked off, but sent home during an international break for Gabon because he didn't show up to a game. Like, what is this kid just a new Solomon Kalou, somebody who's just going to get in a lot of freaking trouble?
Damn.
Like, and just he's just going to party his way out of life.
Well, right now it sounds like
soccer.
Well, you're sending. It's crazy that he's sending this many alarm bells ringing that it's ringing up on our podcast. Like how many more people does he got to scream, "Help me, help me, help"? He's drowning in something, and something's going on that he needs some help with. And it's surprising that, probably players have probably tried to take him under his wing, but he's probably rejected. It's hard to get a person who doesn't want, to help sometimes. And it's hard to speculate that's what it is. But I got to imagine there's got to be people around that type of athlete in that type of professional setting that would try to take them under their wing if they saw a wayward player in that. But, something's not clicking here. So it's, and I'm just saying this all allegedly. And so it's concerning.
Yeah, you're not out at like the pizzeria at like 2:00 in the morning getting into a fist fight with a dude when you're sober. You know what I mean? Like,
not when you're a professional athlete fighting another professional athlete whose actual profession is punching people in the face with his fists. When yours is kicking people, unless like that's what he said. He's like, yeah, I could. He's probably was like, yeah, my feet are better than your hands, mate. And then just like, and then he's like, he probably said, my feet are quicker than your hands. And then the boxer's like, oh yeah, bam.
Like, dude, I mean, I get you're young, you got money, you're kind of the big dog on on campus around town in Cincinnati. Like, I get it, but man, it just I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. You hate to see it because and at the end of the day, it's hilarious. But but when you add it to the other stuff, there's an obvious problem. Like one night of craziness and getting punched in the jaw out of a 12-year career, who gives a shit, right? That's a funny story. But when it's following a trend of behavior that it's a little erratic, it makes you wonder like what's going on with the guy. It's like I said, it's tough. I don't know.
The guy's 27.
Yeah, I mean he's not a spring chicken, but I still consider myself a dummy at 27.
Mm-hmm.
Like there were still 3 a.m., 4 a.m. nights, man.
Played for Bordeaux, got loaned out places, a couple of Qatari based places.
He played around Asia. They got him from the Saudi league. I mean, I don't know who spotted him, but hell of a player when he's on the field, but him and Reynoso, man, those two just you can't get a beat on them, man. They show up when they want to.
Well, good luck to him. Hopefully he figures it out. Yeah,
no, it just You like I said, you'd rather see it as a blip on the radar of a long career, but when it's a trend, it's like, oh no, that's not fun.
Mm-mm.
So hopefully Boupendza gets better. We're gonna get better. And then we're going to get sadder because we're going to talk about the Total Soccer Show's dissection of the Chicago Fire and our current living situation.
I think it's actually going to be great. It was awesome. Can't wait to discuss it. Come back to Animators of the Fire. Kick that like button. Comment below. We'd love to read your stuff. And we'll see you guys on the flip side.
Peace.